think a year ago at this point, I bought this carburetor kit from SpeedMotoCo, and I left a review online. Anyways, I bought this about a year ago, and I left a review on their website, but they have to confirm each review. So if you leave a bad review, they just delete it. So it's the worst financial decision I've made in my life, because it was $650, and to buy the not rip-off version, it's $750. And the $100 really changes a lot. You're getting a worse product, you're dealing with the worst company, and you're not going to get your product. You know what I'm saying? I ordered this. It took them 6 months for it to get to my house, and when I got there, they shipped me the wrong part. I had to ship it back, wait another 2 months. And the reason it took so long, I would email them, I'd say, where are my parts, why are they taking forever? And it's because they didn't want to do it. They would send me an email, they say, yeah, our welder doesn't feel like welding, so he's not doing it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Give me the parts that I ordered, or give me my money back. So it took forever to get here. Once it gets here, the build quality is terrible. I mean, the welds have no penetration, and they're also undercut. Horrible welding. They're just absolutely atrocious welding, and that's the only thing you're paying for. The kit comes with the 2 manifolds, which they weld, 2 Mikuni carbs, 2 Mikuni carbs, 2 air filters, a throttle cable, and that's it. So the only thing that this company is making is the intake manifolds, and they are horrible. Their design is horrible, and their welding is horrible. If you look inside here, you can see that the fitment, when they cut the metal, was not done right. You can see that it's all bad. And anytime you see those little hang-ups in there, that's an opportunity for gas to collect and then not make it into the engine, because there's so many jagged edges inside this manifold that the gas just collects on it, and it doesn't flow right. This is supposed to be a performance upgrade that will make your bike run worse. If you look at the Murray's Carbs version of it, the Murray's Carbs kit, it's a cast intake manifold. It's not welded together, and you can see it's done in a smooth way. You could do this in a legitimate way. You could weld it up. You don't need to have it casted for it to be decent, but they just did not do it. I mean, it's a pie cut. Here, I'll turn this on right here. You can see here, it's a pie cut, and then a pie cut, and then a pie cut. Like it's 3 cuts, or cut there, cut there. It's 3 pieces of metal. That's what I'm saying. 3 pieces of metal. When you could take one, bend it a full 180 degrees, and then take another one and put it right on top. And then it would catch right there, which it's catching right there on this design, but at least this design has a little pocket right there for it to settle in. If this was smooth, like done with a pipe bender, then it would flow on either side. It wouldn't get caught right in there. Okay, but that's with the that's with the problem with the design in general. But then the fitment of this kit is terrible. I already took one of the carburetors off, but you can see that they're clocked inwards. Instead of being in line like this, they're like this, and I'm not exaggerating, it is this extreme of an angle. So one side of the bowl is completely full, the other side is empty, because of how intense this angle is. Like the carburetors are not lying flat, they're always twisted in. So the bowl is always going to be messed up, it's always going to be weird, like it's just not a good design. Ideally, you want your carburetors to be level, because when your bike is sitting upright, which, let's be honest, most of us are not at maximum lean angle for most of the time that we're riding. We're on the highway going straight, we're at a stop sign waiting. Most of the time your bike is going to be straight up and down. And those times where it is leaned over aggressively, you're going at high speeds, so the centrifugal force or the G-force pulls it to where it's flat in the carburetor. Having a carburetor that's clocked in like this makes absolutely no sense. And I don't think it was intentional. I think it's just because they're horrible at what they do. And another thing, you don't have a lot of room in here. So gas lines are getting hit on the frame. The throttle cable is hitting on the frame. Everything's hitting on the frame because it's just a horrible kit. I mean, it took 8 months for them to arrive to my house, and then they arrived and they sucked. I would rather just spend the extra $100, get my parts when I was supposed to, and get an actual usable part. So just never buy these. And that's another. And when I was looking online, I didn't see any reviews for this specific kit, but I did see some good reviews for their other stuff. I saw a video online for the Murray's carbs, not the SpeedMoto company ones, and they said they did great. So I figured with those two, I knew this design of carburetor, replacing the, replacing the 4 carburetors with 2 carbs. I knew that was going to work because I saw the other video. And other reviews of this company said good things, which I now know is because they just delete all their bad reviews. So I went online. I didn't find anything for this specific kit. I didn't see anything on their website for this specific kit, and I took the risk, and I'm making this so that nobody else takes the risk. Because I googled in CB700SC Murray's carb kit, or a SpeedMotor company kit, and nothing came up. And now hopefully this will come up so you can know to never buy this, because it sucks. It is as bad as it gets. I mean, and when I say this is the worst financial decision I've made, look at this bike. Look at the bike, the whole bike. I bought this bike. It was still a better financial decision than buying these carburetors. I have 6 motorcycles that are complete. I have another frame back there. All of those bikes have been complete money pits. I mean, they were all like, the most expensive one was $900. Usually they're like $200, $300 range. They've all been money pits. Those are all better financial decisions than this carburetor kit. It sucks that bad. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I would rather, I don't even know. I'd rather finance a vehicle than buy this carburetor kit again, because that would be a better financial decision. Like, this is the worst way you could spend your money. If you would like to waste $650, then buy these. But if you want to do anything other than that, don't buy these. Like, it's not even like I don't like how they did the product, or I don't like a certain thing about them. It's unredeemable. They just suck that bad because they're expensive, and you're gonna wait forever. You're gonna be supporting a bad company, and you're gonna get a product that it's just some bullshit. Like, you're not getting anything worth money. You could not pay me to run these on my bike. That's the thing. I paid $650 to buy these. You could not pay me to run them. They're coming straight off. I'm making them myself. I'm making a new intake manifold, because you could slap $1 million in front of me and say, buy this kit again, and I would not. I'd tell you to keep your money. So don't buy these, because, and yeah, when I say they don't run, like when I say they're bad, like, once again, this is not redeemable, because they don't run. The only way that these would run with my bike is if I had the choke fully on, and that's it. Choke fully on at idle. You would give it gas, it would die. You take the choke off, it would die. And that's another thing. They advertise that they have specialized tuning, that they will tune your carburetor specifically for your bike, which doesn't make sense, because how are you going to do that without the bike there? But you can get a baseline. You know, I kind of understand that, right? Like, you know, if you get a general idea of like how the bike's going to be ridden, and you know how these, and you know CB700s, and you know that, then you know the general idea of where you want it. When I got these carbs, the floats were not even set. So their tuning is absolute garbage. I would not be surprised if they didn't even crack open the carburetor but they still advertise as having tuning as part of their kit. Like, it's ridiculous, because they don't tune it. They don't make a good product, if they even get around to making your product. Because once again, I'd like to remind you, the reason that it took so long to get my carburetors is because they just didn't feel like making them after I paid them. So it sucks all around. This whole company sucks. And I see other stuff that they sell, and it's always overpriced. This is the only stuff I've seen that's like under the average market value. But they'll sell headlight brackets for like $300, and it makes no sense. It's kind of goes back to my whole ideology of just hating the cafe racer mentality, because it's just a bunch of, like, I don't know, cafe racers used to be cool, and then it just became like, buy a bunch of parts, put it on a bike, and let it sit in your garage and don't ever ride it. When it used to be, make a bunch of parts to make your bike faster and ride it like crazy all the time. So too many people are obsessed with the cafe racer look and not actual cafe racers. But that's a whole different tangent that I don't need to get on. The focus is that these carburetors suck so badly that they suck so badly that I made a video about it. That's how bad they suck. They suck so bad I wrote a review, and it wasn't a short one. It was like a full, like, page-long review that they just deleted. So that's gone forever. I put a lot of work into that. I checked it for grammar errors and stuff. That's how bad this carburetor kit is. It sucked so hard that I got up a camera and I set it up on a tripod, and I got a GoPro and got a second angle, and I recorded separate audio on my phone just to make sure it all went right, because of how much I hate these carburetors. Not the carburetors. The carbs are fine if they're real, which they do seem real. The company and the one product in this whole bundle that they were selling that they made, I hate it so much that I'm here talking about it. Like, look at this, undercut, and then it's puddled up, and then what's that? We got an ostrich around here or something. And then I don't know how good that angle will be in there, but you can just see it's harsh angles. The fitment is all wrong. Look at that. Look at that little valley in there. They could have taken some filler rod and welded that in so at least it was smooth, but no, gas goes straight back into that little divot and just gets collected in there and doesn't go into your engine, and it does not, I don't know, it's no longer atomized when it's in a pool inside the intake manifold. It just sucks all around.